how's everyone doing today? I just wanted to do a quick video. I've been wanting to do more videos, but I've been procrastinating in the new year on doing them. So anyway, I wanted to show you a couple of things that I'm working on, and then I'm going to add a fish to this bowl that I'm working on. I may add this 2 fish, but right now I'm just thinking 1. This piece right here, this is a large piece I'm working on. So far it has about 12 layers of resin on it, where I've painted between the layers for the coral. I've still got more work to do at the bottom, and I've got to start adding in the seahorse and the other fish. This one has been taking quite a long time to work on. For one, it's large. For 2, it just takes a lot of time, and sometimes I just have to take a step back from larger pieces just to kind of regroup and get started. But anyway, I've still got quite a bit of work to do on this one before it'll be finished, but it's going to be quite thick. I don't know if you probably can't see on the outside of the mold, but so far it's about 1 inch thick. And it'll probably, when I'm done, it'll probably be close to 1.5 inches thick when I'm done. But anyway, I think it's turning out pretty cool. Just a lot more work that needs to be done on it. This is one of the larger fish bowls that I'm working on. I've got a couple more to do, but I'm trying to get this one finished up before I start the others. The height of it is about 4.5 inches tall, and it's the width of it at the largest is probably about 5.5, maybe 6 inches across the widest width. So it's quite a large bowl. It's going to be quite thick. I put the green rocks in here. I have seashell. I used some floral that I got from the craft store. I found these cool little sticks at the craft store, which I thought were really neat. And then I am painting. I've got 1 fish already painted in here, and I'm starting the other 2 before it'll be finished. This will probably have another 1/2 inch to 1 inch of resin added to it before it's completed, and then I've got to clean it up. I've got some dribbles. I made a mistake on this. Always learn. I didn't put tape on the edge, so, but this will come off. It'll just take me a little bit of work for me to get the resin drip off of there. And then, of course, I've got my fingerprints all over it. So I'll have to get that off. But what I like about this, when you're looking at it from the side, I don't know if you can tell, you cannot see fish in there. If it's held at a certain angle, and you can start seeing some of the layers. And then as I tilt the bowl, you can see the fish on the top. But anyway, this is the piece I'm currently working on. To show you some of the things that I use, I've got some Liquitex basic paint, white paint, which I'll start off with to kind of give me a base layer before I actually add color. The next 2 fish that I'm adding, one is going to be white with orange spots, and then there's going to be one that is going to be orange, which I think will look really cool in here. So I start off with the white, and then I keep some Flow Medium handy just to kind of thin my paint down a little bit when I'm working on the fish tails. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got my brush, and I've just dipped the brush in some water, and then I dried it off. Just wanted it to be a little wet. So I'm going to go in my bowl, and I'm going to paint a fish in between these leaves right here. So I'm going to start the head towards this area, and then just get it laid in there. That's the first thing that I want to do, is just get the fish laid in there. And when you're painting, some of the pictures, fish I do look at pictures, and then these that I do like this, I've just kind of freehand, I call it like a paisley shape. Just get that shape in there. So if you see, I've got the base layer painted on that, and now that I've got the base layer, I'm going to dip my brush in just a very tiny amount of the flow medium. I don't want the paint to be soupy, because if it gets soupy and you put it on the resin, it'll start to kind of not really bead up, but it'll create, I guess, more like create little cells. And I don't want it to do that. If it does do that, if I've got it too wet, I can always wipe it off. Now the kind of tricky part here is that I'm painting in between some of these florals down here in the back side. So I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit hesitant, because they're not completely covered in resin. So I've got to work between them until they can get covered in resin. So right now I'm just laying in where I want that tail to be. And I've got it, I painted it in there. And again, this is just the base layer. The base layers are usually pretty quick. Because I'm not adding a lot of detail. I just want to place, I put that base layer, I think of the base layer more like when you're priming. It just gives me something to paint on, so the paint will grip better. So I'm just painting that in there. I'm getting the fins painted. The biggest trick is trying to figure out my hand placement on this. A little tricky. Okay, so I've got the base of the second fish painted in there. And I'm going to go ahead and get the base of the third fish painted. I wasn't going to, but I think I'll go ahead and add it in there. And what's going to happen is that very first fish that I completed is down lower, so these are going to look like they're swimming a little bit above the other fish. Okay, let's see. It's tricky. Now, I wish I could angle this so you could see better what I'm doing. Again, I'm painting the base fish kind of like a little paisley shape. I'm adding a little bit of the flow medium to my brush, and then dipping it back in the paint. And, well, I did that wrong, because this is going to be an orange fish. Hang on. I gotta correct myself. I need to get some orange paint. On this fish, I don't want the fin to be white. I want it to be orange. So back to the drawing board. Okay, so dip my brush again back into the gel medium, or flow medium rather, and I am painting in that tail. I hope everyone's having a Nice day today. We've had some really beautiful weather over the last few days, and then today it's been kind of gloomy. So hopefully we'll get some nice weather. Soon. I know here we usually have another cold snap around Easter, and then the weather starts changing. So there is, I got the base of the orange fish painted and got its tails painted. So the first one I painted, the body, is dry. It's going to dry pretty quick. And so I'm going to go back in on top of the body. Not that I'm not going to work on the tail anymore. I'm going to go back on top of the body with my white. And get a thicker layer on that. And when this dries, and I'll pour the resin on top after it's cured, I'll do more work on the tails. And everybody has their own way of doing it. You know, there's no wrong or right way. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with doing, your own particular style. But I enjoy it. I like watching these little guys come to life. Okay, I've got that second layer. I'm going to take some, I need to create some shadows in this, and I'm looking for my paint color. Can't find what I'm looking for. I was looking for a raw umber to kind of add some shadows in there on that one. I'll just work with what I got. So now I'm going on either side and adding just a little bit of shadow on the sides. And then I'm going back in with my white and kind of blending that in. This fish will have some orange spots. So I'm going to go ahead, since I've got some orange paint here and I don't want to waste it, I'm going to go ahead and just start adding a few little areas of orange. And of course this is going to be built up. There'll be about another 4 or 5 layers to build the fish up. And I just want to put a few little spots on this fish. When I do this, I'm trying to get the spots right to the edge of the fish. Okay, so there you go. I've got a couple of little spots on this. Like I said, this part of painting the fish, just getting that base layer down, for me is fairly quick. It's the rest of the layers that take a little bit more time because, again, you're just trying to get that general shape down and adding some details, but you're not going crazy. And I must say that this is a little awkward painting in this type of bowl. But it's cool. I like it. Again, I'm going to use a little bit of my darker color to add some shadows. And it's just going to be real subtle. It's not going to be really, really dark. So anyway, there's the base of the second fish, the second fish and the third fish. So what'll happen now is I'm gonna let this dry, and then I will come back in tomorrow and paint in more layers of the fish and start building up the fins on the other fish. But again, there it is from the side. And then as you turn it, you can see the fish. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I appreciate all the support that you give me by following my art, sharing my work with people, and purchasing. I know times are tough, and so art sales have slowed down a lot, but I still do appreciate the fact that you follow and give me great feedback on what I do. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you later.